What's up, guys? Simone Fan 101, and here with my Raw review. So, a return of the TV reviews. Sorry, I would have loved to have done this last night or earlier this morning, but bad timing, I guess. So, I did write down my Raw results. So here we go. I want to get this out of the way because for some reason my recording time keeps getting shorter and shorter. I have no idea why. Fuck the internet sometimes. Okay, so Raw started off with a segment between Enzo, Cass, Chris Jericho, and Kevin Owens. Um, jeez. Anyways, it was a fine opening segment. Basically, Enzo and Cass came out. They, did their normal promo. And by the way, Enzo Amore is so good on the mic. You have this guy may not be the greatest in ring performer, but he is a great talker. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens came out. This was basically to set up we were found out after the match. It was to set up a tag team match between Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens against Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, or just Big Cass as they've been calling it. Which it makes sense. Jericho and Owens have nothing to do, and at this point in time, neither does Sami Zayn. That one surprises me. You think Sami Zayn and Neville would be on the card since Zayn just had a big win at Battleground and Neville is returning from injury, or already returned from injury, I should say. So yeah, it all led to a singles match between Jericho and Enzo Amore, a quick 10-minute match. The matches was what it was. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't a shitty match. But I think my problem with the match was that Enzo Amore is not on Chris Jericho level, or even not becoming close to Chris Jericho level. That's what made the match a little bit unbelievable, is the fact that we can't buy at this point in time that in a singles match that he can beat Chris Jericho. In a tag team match, maybe, but in a singles match, no. Maybe it's just me. But Big Cass, because Kevin Owens, he grabbed Enzo's foot behind the ref's back. Chris Jericho hit a code breaker. I love this part here because Big Cass came in. He didn't give no fucks. He used a big boot and kicked Jericho's head clean off. And that was fun because it gave the sense that, hey, I don't care if you got DQ, we get DQ'd. I don't care. I love the wrestlers that do not care. Case in point, look at Bret Hart. He does not give a shit, and he still comes back. I love that. We briefly got a backstage segment between Sasha Banks and Mick Foley. There was a little funny line, because last week on Raw, because Mick Foley is known for using a clipboard. Last week on Raw, Stephanie gave him a tablet so he could replace the clipboard. This week, he was on the phone. He's like, "Don't worry, Stephanie, we're all good." And thank God Stephanie wasn't there. Thank you. And we saw Foley use the clipboard. He's like, yeah, the tablet's great. I'll talk to you later, Stephanie. Like, the boss is here. No, not Vince McMahon. Sasha Banks. Foley is still good. Foley is good. So, and the point of this backstage segment was to set up a match later in the night. Sasha Banks versus Dana Brooke. If Sasha won, Dana would not be at ringside. Simple as that. Next, Braun Strowman defeated jobber here, Jarrell Nelson, who I really liked this better than the other two matches because Byron Saxton interviewed him saying, "Why would you take this match?" Jarrell said nothing. And when the match started, he tried to get out of the ring, and Braun Strowman had none of that and destroyed him like a sack of trash. I love this Braun Strowman. He just beats up a bunch of jobbers. There was a backstage segment after this, but I don't care to remember. It just didn't matter. Next, we had a brief minute match, maybe less than that, between Darren Young and Titus ONeil. Titus ONeil playing, basically teasing a heel turn. He threatened to attack Bob Backlund last week, which led to Darren Young attacking him after their match. That ended in controversially. So, Darren Young, behind Bob Backlund's back, of course, when he had his back turned, decided to pull the Titus, just like Titus did to him the week before. So, I guess, do unto others what's done to you, or something like that. I forget the actual phrase, but that's the one I came up with. Turnabout is fair play. That's the one. The match was not... I didn't bother with this match. It just didn't matter to me. This feud better not be leading to a SummerSlam match, because the SummerSlam card looks absolutely amazing. This match would fuck it up. Then there was a Seth Rollins segment in the ring. Seth Rollins, he's a pretty damn good promo guy. I mean, he's a pretty good promo guy, but there's one tiny thing I do not like about Seth Rollins' promos. It's the fact that he goes out and he says the same thing every single week. That's why I was sick of Triple H every single week, because he was just saying the same thing over and over again for 20 minutes. Every single week. He would not shut the fuck up. He would not shut the fuck up. Seth Rollins is parodying Triple H now, apparently. Not happy. But, Seth Rollins, he did his thing. He ran down Finn Balor. He didn't get a good mention of that. Finn Balor is not even his real name. He did mention the fact that Finn means like a warrior and Balor means like a demon or something like that. But, he didn't give a shit about that. It was a good segment. Not the greatest segment, and it did drag a little bit, but it was a pretty good segment. Cesaro beat Sheamus in the next match, and a rematch from last Monday night. This was a pretty good match, I have to say. These guys only wrestled for like 10 minutes. Give them another 10 minutes, they could have a really good to a great match. As it is, these guys just had a pretty good match. I mean, these guys have good chemistry together, and they're continuing on the story that Cesaro, he wants to be recognized. He wants to be noticed. He's not going to give up on that shit. The next thing that we saw, and by the way, the best match of the night was Cesaro and Sheamus. The next thing we saw was by far the best thing all night. It was the backstage. It was not backstage. It was the promo package for Lesnar versus Orton for SummerSlam, and up and coming in 12 days. This was an awesome promo package, and they've done similar promo packages like this before. With Brock Lesnar's matches with John Cena. If you recall, back in 2012 when he returned at Extreme Rules, Brock Lesnar, they had a very similar promo with Brock Lesnar, or a promo package, I should say. And 2 years ago at SummerSlam, he faced Cena again. And not so much on the actual SummerSlam show, but on the Raw. I think it was like the Raw before SummerSlam. They had a very, very similar promo package to the one we just saw here. Out of those three, my favorite is probably might be this one, or it might be the one with Cena at SummerSlam. But they should do more promos like these versus Lesnar. Period. Not just at SummerSlam, but at WrestleMania, even on another maybe not on pay-per-views if he ever competes on one, but on a WrestleMania, on a Royal Rumble, on a SummerSlam, maybe on a Survivor Series if he ever competes again there. He should try it. Neville and Sin Cara beat. I was about to say the Ascension. The Dudley Boys. They might as well be the Ascension because they keep getting jobbed out. But it was during and after this match that I realized, man, WWE really dropped the ball with not putting Bubba Ray Dudley in the Bully Ray type character like he was in TNA. He slimmed down. He called himself Calfzilla. He was the best heel for a couple of years there. He was the best heel in the wrestling industry. There was nobody better than him. As for the match itself, it was an okay match. they've yet to give Neville actual time to compete in like a good 8-9 minute match, which kind of scares me because it gives me the feeling that they don't trust Neville enough to actually compete like he should. Yeah, but if they're trying to play it safe just in case, for the guy's health, I understand. It was an okay match, but okay at best. In the next match, Sasha Banks defeated Dana Brooke in every other Dana Brooke match, usually meaning that it sucked. I mean, Dana Brooke's best match, to my knowledge, at least up until this time, is her match with Asuka at TakeOver, and that's because it was short and sweet. I did not give two shits about this match except for the stipulation, which I hoped Sasha would win, only so that way we would get no bullshit at SummerSlam. Thankfully, Sasha won, and we will get little to no bullshit at SummerSlam. Yay. Next, we got a Finn Balor promo package. Just like with the Lesnar Orton promo package, this one was just as cool. He briefly explained the backstory of Finn McCool and Balor the Demon, the King of Demons, and as the promo went on, and they all obviously edited the promo to make it look give imagery, and at the very end, Balor's eyes turned black and he almost started turning to the demon. That was pretty badass. This was a pretty damn good promo package. Not as good as Orton and Lesnar, pretty close. Next, we got a brief Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson backstage segment because last week they threw Big E into the ring post and they made fun of Big E's balls, and they because they found they put 2 eggs in a canister, and those are Big E's balls apparently. Okay, I'm running out of time because my recording's being a fucking asshole. So basically, Luke Gallows beat Kofi Kingston in a minute. Most dominant win by the club so far. After that, the Golden Truth met a Scooby-Doo outside earlier today. Why? Foley, Bryan, Rusev, and Cesaro, each in that order, had a segment explaining the Orton-Lesnar controversy last week on Monday and Tuesday, Raw and SmackDown. And, plugging in their own shit. And Rusev came out demanding that, trying to suck up to Foley. Cesaro came out demanding his U.S. title match that he said he earned, which he did, by beating Sheamus twice. After that, they had a match, a pretty good match. Sheamus ran in and kicked Cesaro, which allowed Rusev to pick up the victory. Pretty good for the U.S. title. Pretty good show. Not as good as the first week, but that was a slam dunk. Overall, this is a good show. I'll have the Cesaro matches and the ratings below. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.